time ago when I first came in, and I told them, listen, where you are fighting all the time with because of common land and everything like that, there will be no development. All the investors that even want to come and do something here, they will run away. And the thing is that once they hear Osun, they will not know it's only the side of one section of community. They will run away.
The governor commended the swift intervention of security operatives whose proactive efforts helped contain the crisis and prevent further bloodshed, just as they assured the people that his government will continue to work closely with law enforcement agencies to maintain law and order in the affected areas.
We went round and the 24-hour curfew, very, very effective. And let me say this, I have to thank all the security agencies. They with their swift response, immediately we had that emergency meeting and they came over and took over the whole place and make sure that everywhere is calm. And I have to appreciate all the security agencies for the swift response to making sure that Osun is safe.
As the 24-hour curfew imposed by the state government remains in place, Governor Adeleke urged residents to comply with the restrictions, stressing that they were put in place for their safety. He also assured victims of the crisis that the government will initiate relief measures to cushion the impact of their losses and help them rebuild their lives. Meanwhile, the Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of operations, Mr. Yusuf, assured residents that security agencies were committed to restoring normalcy in the affected communities. He noted that joint patrols had been intensified and intelligence-driven operations were ongoing to prevent any further breakdown of law and order.
Gone around, the whole place is very calm. With the curfew imposed since about 2 days ago, everywhere is calm. We are really on top of the situation. And I must assure you, there must be peace in Osun State. Every part of the Osun State, there must be peace. We will not relent on our hours to ensure that this peace is achieved.
As the state government and security agencies continue their efforts to de-escalate tensions, community leaders and stakeholders are expected to play a crucial role in fostering dialogue and reconciliation. The people of Ifon, Erin, and Ilobu now look to the government and security forces to restore lasting peace and rebuild their shattered communities. It has been Uluwa Tobiloba Odunuga reporting.
Justice Obiora Egwuatu of the Federal High Court Abuja handling the suits filed by the suspended Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, seeking to restrain the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions from taking any disciplinary action against her, has recused himself from the matter. Justice Egwuatu had 2 weeks ago adjourned the matter till today for hearing of all applications filed in the matter and directed parties to file and serve all the applications before then. Justice Egwuatu, in a short ruling, recused himself from the case and ordered that the case file be transferred to the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court for reassignment to another judge for continuation. He noted that his recusal from the matter was as a result of rumor of bias against him. While ruling on an ex parte application filed by Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan, Justice Egwuatu granted an interim injunction restraining the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions from proceeding with disciplinary actions against Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. He ordered the defendant to appear within 72 hours of being served to show cause, while a full interlocutory injunction should not be issued against them. Former head of state and founding father of the National Youth Service Corps, General Yakubu Gowon, has commended the scheme's managers for upholding the vision that led to its establishment over 5 decades ago. General Gowon made the remarks during a courtesy visit by the newly appointed NYSC Director General, Brigadier General Olakunle Nafiu, at his residence in Asokoro, Abuja. In a statement signed by the Acting Director Information and Public Relations of the NYSC, Caroline Embu, Gowon acknowledged the initial resistance the NYSC faced from Nigerian students at its inception in 1973. He noted that the NYSC had since evolved into a nationally recognized platform promoting unity, integration, job creation, and youth empowerment across the country. He urged Brigadier General Nafiu to build on the legacies of his predecessors and take Former head of state and founding father of the National Youth Service Corps, General Yakubu Gowon, has commended the scheme's managers for upholding the vision that led to its establishment over 5 decades ago. General Gowon made the remarks during a courtesy visit by the newly appointed NYSC Director General, Brigadier General Akunle Nafiu, at his residence in Asokoro, Abuja. In a statement signed by the Acting Director, Information and Public Relations of the NYSC, Caroline Embo, Gowon acknowledged the initial resistance the NYSC faced from Nigerian students at its inception in 1973. He noted that the NYSC had since evolved into a nationally recognized platform promoting unity, integration, job creation, and youth empowerment across the country. He urged Brigadier General Nafiu to build on the legacies of his predecessors and take the scheme to greater heights. In response, Brigadier General Nafiu described the NYSC as a divine project that has been of significant blessings to the country, while expressing appreciation for General Gowon's continued support and sought his mentorship as he leads the scheme. Meanwhile, federal government has assured that Corps members will receive the backlog of their delayed increased 77,000 monthly allowance. In a renewed assurance to Corps members, the Minister of Youth Development, Ayodele Olawande, revealed that 7 Corps members and those in the scheme, when the increment was announced, are expected to receive backdated payment. Mr. Olawande stated this while speaking on a television program in Abuja, reaffirmed the government's commitment to settling the backlog. He further assured that the government would ensure the delayed payments are made, though he cautioned that it may take some time. It will be recalled that the new Director General of the NYSC, Olakunle Nafiu, stated that Corps members should expect the new allowance to take effect from this month. You are welcome to our commercial segment.
Nothing ever happens by chance. Really. Focus on the destination and not the journey, or where you're from.
They will see your gain. Turn the dark to light.
Never ever settle. Make big moves from your small space.
You are welcome back. Leveraging digital skills through technological advancement is the surest way for Africans and Nigerians to catch up with the rest and lead in the global space. A former Minister of Education and former World Bank Vice President for Africa, Dr. Obiageli Ezekwesili, disclosed this as the guest speaker at the 20th anniversary lecture of Redeemers University, Ede, Osun State, Nigeria. OSBC reporter Oluchi Amuda has the details.
The reality of our time, harnessing human capital, technology and values for a sustainable future, was the theme of the lecture organized to mark the 20th anniversary of Redeemers University, Ede, Osun State, Nigeria. The event held at the institution's auditorium brought together dignitaries from far and near, including the team of Edeland, Oba Munuruddin Adeshola Lawal, Laminisa I, and the members of the governing board of Redeemers University. In her lecture on the theme of the program, the guest speaker and former Minister of Education, Dr. Obiageli Ezekwesili, explored the pressing realities of the present times through the critical role of human capital development, the transformative impact of artificial intelligence, AI, and emerging technologies, and the importance of building a sustainable and equitable future. Dr. Ezekwesili, who is also the former World Bank Vice President for Africa, maintained that Africans and indeed Nigerians cannot afford to be passive in the face of such profound transformations. Hence, universities must shift from memorization-based learning to critical thinking, innovation, and adaptability, while faith-based institutions like Redeemers University must lead in value-based leadership, shaping graduates who are both technically skilled and morally upright.
Investing in education is so crucial for our continent that the share of Africa being the continent with the largest out-of-school children, with Nigeria being the number one country with the largest number of school children that are out of school, should give us concern.
In his remarks, the National Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Sunday Akonde, described the anniversary as not just a celebration of the past, but a call for action for the future, just as he expressed appreciation to the General Overseer of the Church, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, for his fatherly role and leadership style, especially his resolve to ensure that Redeemers University continue to maintain its status as a beacon of hope, knowledge, and innovation.
Pastor Adeboye, an influential, dedicated, and selfless daddy, an evident scholar himself, pastor, father, and coach, a father who has gone out of his way countless times just to ensure his children are academically sound, spiritually nourished. God truly sent him to lead and direct us on the right path.
Earlier in his address of welcome, the Vice Chancellor, Professor Shedrack Akindele, said the faith-based institution remains resolute in its mission to continuously impact society through a commitment to excellence in education, research, creativity, innovation, entrepreneurship, and raising global leaders as change agents.
Let us continue this journey together, inspired by the potential of human capital, empowered by technology, and grounded in the values that will guide us to a brighter, sustainable future.
The 20th anniversary of Redeemers University also provided an avenue for the gathering to contribute to the discussion through probing questions and answers. Oluchi Amuda, OSBC News.
Faithful have been urged to emulate the humanitarian gesture being extended to the less privileged people by the founder of Leovest Reassurance Hand Foundation, Ambassador Olatunji Awodiro. Chief Imam of Ofa, Sheikh Muhyiddin Salman, gave the admonition in Ibokun during the first annual Ramadan lecture organized by Leovest Reassurance and Foundation. Soya Honoridi completes the story.
The first annual Ramadan lecture, powered by Leovest Reassuring Hand Foundation, debuted in Ibokun, the headquarters of Obokun local government area of Osun State, in recognition of monumental feat recorded by Governor Adeleke, delivering a lecture entitled "Importance of Good Governance to the Society, Power of Dua from Charity to Beneficiaries." The Chief Imam of Ofa, Alhaji Muhyiddin Salman, raised posters on financial status and leadership responsibility. Alhaji Salman said being wealthy does not necessarily translate to generosity. Being demonstrated to the less privileged citizen has constantly been demonstrated by the founder of Leovest Reassuring Hand Foundation, Ambassador Olatunji Awodiran. The Chief Imam of Ofa urged Muslim faithful to imbibe the culture of assisting the less privileged citizen, as well as supporting the propagation of Islam, noting that it is despicable to engage in ostentatious lifestyle while others are wallowing in poverty. He maintained that it is imperative for a leader to be sensitive to the plight of the followers, responding timely and positively. Earlier, Imam of Ibokun, Alhaji Tijani Bello, lauded Dr. Awodiran for the humanitarian gesture, describing it as a thing of pride for the town that must be preserved. In a remark, the Executive Secretary of Osun State Internal Revenue Service, Mrs. Tolulope Abimbola, who represented Ambassador Olatunji Awodiran, said the initiative is primarily designed to assist the less privileged citizen in the society.
The foundation focuses on helping the aged and the widow in general, the less privileged. So that is what the foundation is all about. That's the purpose of establishing the foundation. Beneficiaries should count themselves privileged and lucky to have somebody like Ambassador Dr. Olatunji Awodiran, who has a kind heart and a heart of giving, because not everybody has such mind of giving back to the society. So they should count, especially Obokun community, should count themselves lucky to have somebody like Ambassador Olatunji Awodiran.
Women leader of the People's Democratic Party in Obokun local government area, Alhaja Moturayo Akangwe, implored the founder of Leovest Reassuring Hand Foundation not to relent in his commitment towards putting smiles on the faces of the people. Beneficiaries who spoke with OSBC News poured encomiums on Dr. Awodiran for the gesture. Food stuff including rice, beans, spaghetti, gari, vegetable oil, among others, were distributed to beneficiaries. Prominent clerics from across Obokun local government area, the special advisor to the governor on agriculture and food security, Honorable Niran Atidade, stalwart of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), led by the State Secretary of the party, Prince Bola Ajao, the representative of National Orientation Agency (NOA), Mr. Sunday Olaitan, among others, were on ground to lend hand of support. Saya Olonide, reporting for OSBC News.
Oh, there is time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted, was the basis of the sermon delivered at the burial of late Mrs. Teresa Tinui at Okini, Osun State. The man of God who spoke from Ecclesiastes 3 verse 2, Pastor Emmanuel Olamide, described the late mother of one of OSBC television staff, Johnson Tinui, as a modest woman before the Lord and mankind. The event at Tinui House, Okini, was covered by Abdul Jalil Adebisi. He reports.
Tinui, as a mother in millions who was always optimistic and benevolent to all that had contact with her journey and sojourn on the surface of the earth. Pastor Olamide charged all women to take a cue from the matriarch, who was altruistic in her approach to the young and highly supportive to the older people, despite being a widow since 1984. Tinui, who lived for 76 years, hailed from Elisha, Osun State, and married to an initial man, received uncountable accolades like a heroine who came, saw, and conquered the world shortly after her burial. Alhaji Gbadebo Oloyede from Lagos, Mr. Olapade Ojo, younger brother to her husband, described the deceased as a woman who was hardworking, disciplined, tolerant, and responsible in all ramifications, whom their family was proud of before, during, and after her husband's death. The firstborn of the deceased, Johnson Tinoye, alongside his younger ones, Mrs. Bola Ademilola, Ronke Adeyemi, among others, praised their mother for being a staunch supporter to them since they lost their father. The children also appreciated their mothers and fathers' family members for standing by them in training them. According to them, the deceased was highly dedicated to humanity. She never believed in impossibility and strived to put all things in order. Late Madam Teresa Tinoye was an evangelist at CAC Orioke Adeyanju Eleyele in Osogbo, whose service to the Lord was unquantifiable. The children were urged to fraternize with the family and be united as their mother did during her lifetime. The remains of Madam Teresa Tinoye was interred in the presence of numbers of clerics, members of her families, as well as staff of Osun State Broadcasting Corporation, Osogbo. Abdul Jalil, ADBC, OSBC News.
You are welcome to our sports segment. Samuel Osun has made a remarkable debut for Shooting Stars for scoring and, more importantly, for helping the team to win. Osun was on target in Benga Ogunbote's side 3-1 victory over Niger Tornadoes. The defender scored a superb free kick for his side's second goal in the 76th minute. The left back was also named man of the match. Osun linked up with the Oluyole Warriors from Bayelsa United during the mid-season transfer window. And let us also inform you that the Super Eagles of Nigeria played a 1-1 draw against the Zimbabweans this evening at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium in Uyo. And on the foreign scene, South Sudan is on the brink of a renewed civil war as violence between rival factions escalates. The United Nations, which warned that the situation in the country is dire, saying the head of the UN mission in South Sudan, Nicholas Hayson, as tension between forces allied with President Salva Kiir and those of Vice President Riek Machar continues to build. The UN official stressed that the efforts to negotiate a peace deal would only be possible if Kiir and Machar were able to put the interests of their people ahead of their own, warning that disinformation and hate speech are stirring ethnic hatred and provoking increasing violence that has displaced tens of thousands. And with that, we've come to the end of the major report on OSBC TV for tonight. It was edited by Michael Adeniyi. I am Babatunde Fanokwa saying thank you for watching. Good night.
Hello viewers, welcome to your darling station OSBC. Come enjoy a rich menu of programs. On OSBC TV, there is something you must watch. We have drama.
Honey, is it not eating?
I just heard strange words and incantations, like ritual songs, coming from his room.
Honey, it's okay. Let me go and talk to him.
Sports.
It is Mel! Yes! Oh, yes! What a brilliant free kick!
Good musicals. Educational television. Kiddies.
nínú àkójọpọ̀ ìròyìn wa lálẹ́ òní ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣojúṣòfin ilẹ̀ yìí fọwọ́ sófin 41 fún kíkà lẹ́ẹ̀kejì ìjọba àpapọ̀ gbé ìgbésẹ̀ láti ṣàtúntò àwọn ètò ìjọba ogun abẹ́lé míì tún rúgbó bọ̀ nílẹ̀ Sudan ẹlẹ́mbẹ̀wọ̀n èèyàn wa ẹ̀ka alẹ́ ẹ̀sìnkú iṣẹ́ látàárọ̀ ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí àkójọpọ̀ ìròyìn wa fún tàlẹ́ òní Babátúndé Bọ́látitó lórúkọ tèmi ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣojúṣòfin ilẹ̀ yìí ti fọwọ́ sáwọn àbádòfin 41 tó jẹ mọ́ àtúnyẹ̀wò òfin ilẹ̀ yìí fún kíkà lẹ́ẹ̀kejì eléyìí wáyé lẹ́yìn àríyànjiyàn lórí ọ̀rọ̀ àbádòfin náà ìgbákejì abẹnugan ilé tó darí ìjókòó ilé lónìí Benjamin Kalu ní káwọn aṣáájú ilé sọ kí wọ́n ṣòfin lérò kí wọ́n lè ka gbogbo òfin náà pọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà ọ̀nà 6 ni wọ́n pín àbádòfin náà sí ní ìsọ̀rí ètò ìdájọ́ ìjọba alákòóyawọ́ ètò ààbò àtúnṣe òfin ìdìbò àtàwọn míì lára àwọn òfin yòókù ni òfin yíyọ àwọn olórí ilé ẹjọ́ òfin tó ṣèdásílẹ̀ ilé ẹjọ́ kòtẹ́milọ́rùn lórí ẹ̀sìn àti fífi ilé ẹjọ́ kòtẹ́milọ́rùn sí òpin ìgbẹ́jọ́ tó jẹ́ tètò ìdìbò gómìnà àti tìlé aṣòfin. ìjọba àpapọ̀ ti gbé ìgbésẹ̀ láti ṣàtúnṣe ètò àgbékalẹ̀ ilé àtàwọn tó jẹ mọ́ iṣẹ́ ọnà akọ̀wé ìjọba àpapọ̀ George Akube ló kéde ọ̀rọ̀ yìí níbi ìpàdé àwọn tọ́rọ̀ kàn níbi ìpàdé kan tó dá lórí àgbékalẹ̀ ìjọba àpapọ̀ kan nílùú Àbújá ètò náà tí ilé iṣẹ́ olùdámọ̀ràn pàtàkì fáàrẹ lórí ìṣàkóso ètò gbogbo Hadiza Bala Usman ibẹ̀ lákọ̀wé ìjọba àpapọ̀ ti ní ìjọba àpapọ̀ lọ́wọ́ nínú àtúnyẹ̀wò ọ̀nà tíjọba gbà ṣàkóso lọ́nà àti rí dájú pé mọ́sàbíkalẹ̀ ìrètí ọ̀tun nílẹ̀ yìí ó ní ìjọba táàrẹ Tinubu darí rẹ̀ ṣetán láti sa gbogbo ipá rẹ̀ láti rí dájú pé gbogbo ipò nípa ilẹ̀ yìí jẹ́ ọ̀nà láti mú ìgbélárugẹ bá ètò ọrọ̀ ajé orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. Gómìnà Adémọ́lá Adeleke ti pè fún kálàáfíà kó jọba láàrin àwọn èèyàn ìlú Ifọ̀n Ẹ̀rìn àti Ìlóbù lọ́nà láti jẹ́ kó gun omi nítorí ìṣọ̀kan ṣe kókó fún dàgbàsókè ìpínlẹ̀ yìí. Gómìnà sọ̀rọ̀ yìí nígbà tó ṣàbẹ̀wò sáwọn ibi tí rògbòdìyàn náà ti wáyé tó sì gbóṣùbà fáwọn ikọ̀ aláàbò fífi wọn sì jẹ́ kálàáfíà ìjọba ó fìdí ìfarajìn ìjọba tó ń darí múlẹ̀ láti lè jẹ́ kí ṣọ̀kan àtàlàáfíà ìjọba láwọn agbègbè náà. Oníròyìn iléeṣẹ́ yìí lọ́fíìsì gómìnà Olúwatóbilọ́ba Odùnúgà lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ ìròyìn àtúpalẹ̀ rẹ̀ rèé.
ìjà aláìlẹ̀ ọlọ́jọ́ pípẹ́ láàrin ìlú Ifọ̀n, Ẹ̀rìn àti Ìlobù ti sọ ọ̀pọ̀ èèyàn di aláìnílé lórí mọ́, tọ́pọ̀ sì pàdánù dúkìá ẹlẹ́gbẹ̀lẹ́gbẹ̀ mílíọ̀nù náírà nígbà táwọn míì pàdánù ẹ̀mí. Gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun Sẹ́nitọ̀ Adémọ́lá Adeleke àtàwọn lọ́gàálọ́gàá àjọ elétò ààbò pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ ìgbìmọ̀ aláṣẹ ìjọba ṣàbẹ̀wò sáwọn ìlú ọ̀hún láti wo ọṣẹ́ tíjà tí wọ́n jà náà ti ṣe àti láti tún fi dáwọn aráàlú lójú pé ìjọba yóò sa gbogbo ipá láti mú kálàáfíà ìjọba padà lágbègbè náà. Nígbà tó ń bá àwọn oníròyìn sọ̀rọ̀ lásìkò àbẹ̀wò ọ̀hún, gómìnà Adeleke rọ àwọn aráàlú tó ń bára wọn jà náà láti jèbùrẹ́ kí wọ́n gba àlàáfíà láàyè. Gómìnà tẹnumọ́ pé kò lè sí ìdàgbàsókè láwùjọ tógun bá ń fi lògbòlògbò. Ó wá pàrọwà sáwọn orí adé, àwọn aṣáájú àwùjọ àtàwọn ọ̀dọ́ láti yàgò fún ìwà jàgídíjàgan.
a ń pariwo pé afẹ́kìlú máa dàgbàsókè nítorí wàá fi jẹ́ kó dàgbàsókè ni pé kíjà máa wà. mo mọ̀ pé kò lè ṣe tíjà bá dẹ̀ wà á jókòó á jọ sọ àparí ẹ̀ torí ọmọ ìyá ni wọ́n ti ẹ̀ ti fẹ́ra wọn ó ti wọnú ara wọn